It was only a little bit more than a week ago that there was a lot of optimism that Harris could win. And in fact, while the polls were razor close, most of the analysts running their projections and simulations, doing their predictions, said slight favor to Harris. She could well win. And one that drew a lot of attention was Professor Allan Lichtman. So he's a history professor. He has what he calls his 13 keys prediction model. And he has used that to predict the results of 9 of the last 11 presidential races. And so he predicted that Harris would win using his keys. And a lot of people had a lot of faith in that. And obviously it didn't work out that way. And there has been a little bit of strike back. Now, I can't say for sure where all the strike back is coming from. If it's disaffected Harris voters that are mad at him for getting their hopes up, or if it's right wingers who feel like he was lying or trying to set the stage for voter fraud, I don't know. But he is facing, according to him, death threats, doxxing, swatting, and intimidation, including at his actual house. He says, we will not be bullied. Federal law enforcement is now alerted. Apparently, this is not just death threats on social media, which is bad and scary enough. People actually tried to breach his home 2 separate times. And apparently, nobody has been hurt. The police responded to the break-in attempts, but this is not just tweets. People are going to the house, trying to get to him, trying to get to his family. They take this very seriously, Sharon. It's scary stuff. What do you think?
It is scary. I've been watching Get Gotti on Netflix. I've gotten through the first 3 episodes, and this is kind of what it reminds me of, okay? That no one, I guess people did bet on this election, money, Vegas, whatever. But most of the people, I assume, who are doing this, I mean, he just got it wrong. Get over it, okay? The rest of us are trying to. I assume that they're not people who lost huge amounts of money. They're just derelicts who want to aggravate this person. Kind of like what I would call the Fauci effect. Remember that? Yeah. I mean, he couldn't go out to dinner with his wife and his daughters. Why are you bothering this scientist, this medical person? This is akin to that.
Yeah, and at least he was in the news a lot. Like this professor, why is that what you're thinking about? Like after the world we're entering into, you think I'm gonna think about something? I'm not gonna think about history, like academia in general, let alone a specific professor. It's very, very strange. Don't send death threats to people. Honestly, I've always found death predictions to be more entertaining. I like making those, especially right now. But no, death threats obviously unacceptable. Again, we have no idea if it's conservatives or Democrats or a combination of the two. Apparently, a lot of people getting in on this, but just leave the guy alone. By the way, feel free to remember in 4 years that he got it wrong, because if he got 9 of the last 11 right, next time he'll be saying he got 9 of the last 12. And I want everyone to bear in mind, not all of those elections were that difficult to predict. This one was super close, difficult to predict. Some of them, like Obama was leading by quite a bit. And so let's just be clear, I think a lot of people turned to it not because they found it to be persuasive, but because they wanted to believe it was persuasive, which I certainly get. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.